Senator Hillary Clinton was in the Bronx this morning to announce she was reintroducing legislation to help grandparents raising their grandchildren. A staggering number of American children, nearly 7 million, are being raised by relatives besides their parents, mostly grandmothers. Fueled by the crack epidemic, the number of parents abandoning their kids jumped 30% in a decade and continues to climb. Tonight, we introduce you to the Miller family. He's a school psychologist, she's a guidance counselor, living proof that the issue is not confined to the inner city.
Happy birthday to you.
A little girl's 5th birthday on the 4th of July, 2005.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
But the two people Sade calls Mommy and Daddy are in reality her grandparents, like 1 in 12 children in America.
Oh, here's a big one.
Fall comes, and with it, the start of preschool.
Did you have a good summer, Sade? What kept you busy?
Working.
Working? Grandma put you to work? So, what all did you work?
And my grandma's mom.
Mom, I'm sorry.
Mom is Coletta Miller, 52. Her husband, Frank Miller, is 55.
When I first moved here, I was really sick.
And their 27-year-old daughter, Monica, is Sade's biological mother.
I don't think Monica is anywhere near ready to have a child. I think a lot of people that get pregnant don't realize that it's not, unconditional love. It's what you're sacrificing. That's what a parent is all about. It's giving everything up for your kids.
One thing Monica was unable to give up was her addiction to heroin.
And then for him to watch me get high in the car, he's like, you can't wait to get home.
It's raining.
Leaving Sade's first 2 years filled with chaos.
In the womb, her mom was straight and sober. And then when she was 6 months of age, Mom started again. And then the second year of her life, it was in foster placement with a variety of families. And she was very much left on her own at that time.
So the Millers knew early on that one day they might need to take Sade. One turning point was Sade's first birthday, when Monica brought her home to visit from California. Monica had track marks up and down her arms. The Millers took Monica to the hospital.
And she said, Mom, I'm using. Help me. So then we said, you have a choice here. You go into rehab, you get yourself fixed, and if you don't do that, I will see to it personally that Sade will then be taken away from you.
I'm not one to mince words. I said, you either get yourself into rehab or you're dead to us. You're no longer a part of our family.
You're dead to us?
You are dead to us. Those are the words that I used.
Yeah, you did.
And while Monica claims she is getting her life together and is no longer using drugs, it is her parents who have provided the stability in Sade's life.
Are you coming?
Coletta and Frank Miller have their hands full. There are the myriad parent things that need to be taken care of.
What's the name of the hospital?
And the constant reminders of all the blanks still to be filled in Sade's life.
Did the baby receive hepatitis B vaccine? I don't know.
The Millers found themselves in the same painful situation as nearly 2.5 million other grandparents, with a grown child unable or unwilling to care for their grandchild.
One little bear kid.
The Millers ended up in Washington, D.C., attending a rally on the steps of the Capitol for grandfamilies, where they met Senator Hillary Clinton.
Love doesn't put food on the table. Love doesn't pay the doctor's bill.
Getting more resources and rights for grandparents is an issue Senator Clinton has championed.
There's a lot of people in public life who love to talk about family values, but when it comes to valuing families, we're not there for them, and we pay a big price. We either help now or we have to face the consequences later.
It's an epidemic in plain sight that no one seems to see.
You're right. It is a silent epidemic. And many of these grandparents run into all of these obstacles with, getting their grandchildren enrolled in school, getting them the health care they need, getting them other assistance they deserve to have. And they feel like they're all out there by themselves. It's so much better if a child can stay in the care of a grandparent or other relative than being put into the foster care system. And that's the alternative.
So in order to make certain they didn't lose Sade to the foster care system, or that her biological parents didn't swoop back into her life, In November of 2005,
Are you coming?
Coletta, Frank, and Sade headed to Los Angeles to officially recreate their family and adopt Sade.
Mr. and Mrs. Miller, would you remain seated? Raise your right hand to be sworn in by the clerk.
The mood in the courtroom is of excitement.
In the court's presence, Mr. and Mrs. Miller will both sign the adoption agreement form.
In Chicago, with Monica, the mood is different, heavy with the knowledge that what is being given up can never be reclaimed.
Sade Alexandra Miller is declared to be the child of Frank Lewis Miller and Coletta Jean Miller. Congratulations, the adoption is final.
It's a happy day, it really is. And our little girl can never be taken away from us again. She's ours for good. And of course, as I told her, she's stuck with us too.
But even now, the tug. Coletta cannot forget she is also Monica's mother. She calls Monica in Chicago.
Hello? Hey, Monica.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
She's going to be safe. Okay?
No, it's not okay.
You're not okay?
It's not okay.
Well, you have to remember, honey, that we had no choice. It was, we had to take her in and adopt her, or we would never see her again.
That's not true.
That is true. There was no temporary stuff in there. And always remember, too, I still love you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I do love you.
I don't want to talk about this right now.
Okay. I'll talk to you later on, okay?
All right.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, most grandparents don't adopt. Many of them take the kids, but don't adopt. From where you sit now, is there an advantage to being her actual parents now?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Well, there's two words. One is control. And if you don't have control, then it's this visitation and weekends and this back and forth and all that. And it's consistency. She's ours.
You know, there are those who will say, you messed up with Monica. Maybe you're not the right people.
My own cousin said that. And he's someone I've always looked up to.
It's gotta hurt.
Yeah, I just kind of swallowed that and went on.
Walked away.
When we got into the business of raising children, we didn't drink, we didn't take drugs, we didn't, fool around. We ate dinner around the dinner table, all these traditional things, and yet our daughter went the other way.
For 8 months after the adoption, Monica saw Sade only once.
Wow, was that fun?
When the summer came, the 4th of July and Sade's 6th birthday, Monica decided to visit. Instead of spending the week as she'd promised, she left early. Would it just be easier to close the door with Monica?
No, because I need to know where she is. I need to know.
She's still our daughter.
She's still our, yeah.
And we love her, and she has made a lot of progress. Had a ways to work her way up, but she's doing the right thing, and we need to be there to support her.
Can you introduce me to these two people? Who are they?
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad.
But the real name is Coletta and Dad and Frank.
Are there other people in your family too?
Oh, yeah. Can't see Monica.
Why not?
Because she lives somewhere else far away. She's my sister.
Would you like to see her?
Take that for a yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Okay, which one do you want, Mom?
She's a funny, sunny little girl, growing up with love in her very own family. One American family. A final note, among other initiatives, the Clinton legislation would require that before a child is placed in foster care, his or her grandparents and aunts and uncles are notified, making it easier for families to stay together.